Hey guys, so here's the second part of the video, all about faces, edges, and vertices. So what are those things? Well, they are things that we can count on different solid shapes or 3D shapes, and they can tell us a little bit about those shapes. So the first thing we're going to talk about is a face, and I'm going to highlight the face here. So the face is the flat side of a solid. In this case, it's a triangle, and you can count how many faces there are. The base that the solid is sitting on can also be considered a face. So when you're counting, make sure you count the shape that the solid is sitting on as well. We can also count the edges or the lines in the shape. And the edge is where two faces meet. So here we have two of our triangle faces, and where they meet is highlighted in red. That is one edge, and we can count those in different solids and see how many there are. We can also count the vertex, or the corner that is made when two edges meet. So most shapes will have more than one corner or more than one vertex, and in that case, we would say vertices. That's the plural of vertex. And highlighted in red here, we've got two edges, and you can see where they meet in that green circle. That is our corner or our vertex, and we can count how many each solid shape has. We're going to look at a couple examples here. So we'll look at our square pyramid. It has 5 faces. So remember, we want to count that base that it's sitting on. So it has a square at the bottom, and then 4 triangle sides coming up to a point. That makes a total of 5 faces. We can count the lines made by those faces meeting. So it has 4 edges. Those lines are edges coming down from the point, and it has 4 edges going around the base for a total of 8 edges. And we can also count the vertices. So it has 1 corner up at the top and 4 around the base for a total of 5 vertices. We can do the same with a triangular prism. So in this case, we would want to count both bases, the triangle on the top and the bottom, and the 3 rectangles around the sides, making a total of 5 faces. We can count the edges. So it has 3 lines at the top where the edges meet, or where the faces meet, 3 lines going down, and 3 lines around the bottom. We can also count the edges or vertices. So there are 3 vertices at the top and 3 vertices at the bottom, making a total of 6. There are a few shapes that get special names. The first is a cube. It has faces that are all the same shape. They are all squares, and that's why it gets its special name of cube. Yes, we could also call it a square prism, but because it has all those faces exactly the same shape, we actually call it a cube. So you can see it's got 2 squares on the top and 4 squares going all the way around, making a total of 6 faces. We can count the edges on the top, which is 4, the edges on the bottom, which is 4, and the edges coming down, which is 4, for a total of 12 edges. And we can count its corners. 4 corners at the top, 4 corners at the bottom, making a total of 8 corners, or in math, we would say 8 vertices. A cone is also a special shape. It does have 1 face, its base that it's sitting on at the bottom, a circle here. We can't call this a face because it's not flat. It does have 1 vertex, the corner up at the top, and it does have 1 edge, that edge around the base. A cylinder has 2 faces because it has 2 bases, top and bottom. Whoops. Top and bottom, and they're both circles. We can't call the space between the 2 circles a face because it's not flat. It does have 2 edges around its bases. It has no vertices. There are no points or corners on this shape. And then, of course, there's the sphere. And the sphere has no faces. It has no flat sides. It has no edges because it has no faces. And it has no vertices, or no points or corners. Hopefully this helps you be successful in the activities that you're going to do now that you've finished watching the videos. Please feel free to come back and watch them again if you need to review.